Mafia. Don Brown. Yeah. It's the Mafia, you know I'm rocking with the Bills. It's the Mafia, you know I'm rocking with the Bills. It's the Mafia, I'm with the Buffalo Bills. It's the Mafia, you know I'm rocking with the Bills. Hey, who you reppin'? What's your team? Who you reppin'? What's your team? You know I'm reppin' for my team. I got that talent on my team. Micah Hyde, Jordan Poyer, can you catch it? Can you? Trade day is like a mask, you not catching anything. Matt Milano making plays, we not scared of any team. Best in the AFC, all the praise of Brandon Bean. You hear Sean McDermott clapping while I'm snapping? Jerry Hughes will get the sack soon as you snap it. Andre Roberts running back, ain't no just backing. Mafia, we on a ride and we got traction. We got Beasley, we got Diggs. McKenzie make you miss. Dawson Knox with the stiff arm, treat opponents just like his. Feliciano, Deion Dawkins block defenders like the fence. Hey, it's the Mafia. I said no one on top of us. I said no one is blocking us on top of our division, so it's clear that it's no stopping us. Google best team in the league and we popping up. Hey, who you reppin'? What's your team? Who you reppin'? What's your team? You know I'm reppin' for my team. I got the salad on my team.
Okay, I see muted. Can't hear. Hopefully you can hear me now. So, welcome back to the Friday Night Forecast. As always, I'm your guy, Jake. And in this exciting week, we're going to be heading to Miami. We're going to see the Buffalo Bills take on the Miami Dolphins at the Miami Gardens. Used to be Hard Rock Stadium. And that is a place where this team has had plenty of success recently. And Josh Allen has had plenty of success against Miami Dolphins. Just check out these stats. It's fantastic what Josh Allen has done against the Miami Dolphins. 5-1 record against the Miami Dolphins. He's thrown for over 1,500 yards and 17 touchdowns to just 4 picks. And then we know that he can run the football as well. 35 attempts running the football, 340 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Josh Allen takes his game to the next level against the Miami Dolphins. I don't know what it is about the Dolphins, if it's just extra mental preparation or what it is. But Josh Allen, he's a beast against the Miami Dolphins, and he knows that. He knows he's got a good history of that. He was discussing it earlier this week, and he was basically shaking it off like it was nothing. And I like that because Josh Allen's saying, okay, it's a new team, it's a new year. And if you remember back to last year, what happened when the Miami Dolphins came to Buffalo and played the Bills in Week 17? Well, the Dolphins lost that game. They got pummeled. They got smoked by the Bills, 56-26. And in that game, if the Dolphins would have won, all they had to do was win that game and they would have clinched a playoff spot. You don't think the Miami Dolphins remember that? If you don't think the Miami Dolphins remember that, you are crazy. The Miami Dolphins have been sitting and waiting. They've had this date, week 2. They've had this week 2 matchup circled on their calendar ever since the NFL released the schedule. They want to get back at the Buffalo Bills. The Bills coming into this game, they know that. They know that, but they can't think about it. The Buffalo Bills just need to focus on getting a win here. And that's the mentality of this team. That's the mantra of this organization. You take it week by week. Focus on your next opponent. Joseph Clark says, are Bills in panic mode if they lose? That's I'm going to say no. I don't think they're in panic mode if they lose. I know the fan base is going to be really upset, and obviously the players will be too, but I think it will be more outside noise, outside of the organization, where the fan base is panicking because they're expecting this team to start off on a good foot. It didn't start off well last week. Not at all. It wasn't the way that Bills Mafia had envisioned it going. But also, a lot of this team, a lot of us underestimated the Pittsburgh Steelers, and we can't do that with the Miami Dolphins either. They've got a good team. I don't think they're even in the same conversation as the Pittsburgh Steelers, but the Miami Dolphins, they're no joke. This team is going to be hungry, and they're going to give us all we can handle. The Miami Dolphins are going to play their best in week 2. Score prediction. You want to get into that already? All right, let's do it. Score predictions for this game. I have... Okay, you know what? We'll do player predictions, then we'll go right to the score predictions. Because my player prediction kind of... It helps us move into that. Player predictions, I've got this Bills offense exploding this week. Josh Allen's career numbers against Miami are indicative of what to expect, in my opinion, for this week 2 matchup. He's just lit up the Miami Dolphins every time he played them. He had 415 passing yards last year in that week 2 matchup. I think Cole Beasley, 7 receptions for 98 yards and a touchdown. I do think Stephon Diggs is going to have a good day, but he's also going to have Xavier Howard on him. And last year when the Dolphins played the Bills, there was a lot of man coverage, and Diggs still had a good day. It was hard for Diggs to get slow. Like, the Dolphins had no answer for Stephon Diggs last year. But if they double team him, which I expect they will, at least some point in the game, Cole Beasley will benefit. A lot of underneath stuff, 7 receptions, 98 yards, and a touchdown. And I also have Josh Allen, 5 touchdowns in this game. I don't mean 5 touchdowns passing the ball. I don't mean 5 touchdowns rushing the ball. Just 5 touchdowns combined. He's going to have 5 touchdowns in this game. He had 4 last year in week 2 against the Dolphins. And I'm going to show you the numbers against the Dolphins throughout his career. Again, Josh Allen takes his game to the next level against Miami. He shook it off when he was asked about it this week. He just said, oh, whatever, it's just preparation, and that's the result you get. The Bills, that's the exact attitude they have to have. They have to come into this game prepared and not looking at what they've done in the past against the Dolphins, because it is a new team, it's a new year, and it's a new week. Every week's a new week in the NFL. Joseph Clark. Come on, man. Come on, are you serious? If Allen struggles, should the Bills move to the backup? I want to see what everyone else thinks about this comment first, but really, no. I don't think that we're going to Mitch Trubisky unless there's an injury to Josh Allen. Josh Allen just got a mega contract extension. If he struggles in week 2, you're definitely not going to the backup. I don't think that's realistic at all. If Allen struggles throughout the entire season, maybe we can have that discussion, but let's not. Let's not have that discussion right now. It's week 2. That's premature. And really, it seems like a silly comment to me. I've got Josh going for 5 touchdowns this game. I don't think he's going to have a down week this week. I think he's going to turn it up against the Dolphins again. But they're going to be prepared, and they're going to be hungry on that other sideline, because you remember last season, the Dolphins, if they only would have beat the Bills, would have went to the playoffs. That's got to be motivation for them. So my score prediction in this game, I have Josh Allen going for 5 touchdowns, which means they have to have at least 35 points. I think that Josh Allen's going to get every Buffalo Bills touchdown in this game. 38 points. They'll have an extra field goal as well. And the Miami Dolphins will get 21 points. Last year they had 26 in week 17, where a lot of our second string players were playing, second and third string guys. But I've got 38-21 Buffalo in this game in week 2. I think the Bills offense, they're going to come out firing. This unit's going to use last week's disappointing loss against the Steelers as extra motivation, adding fuel to the fire for Josh Allen and this crew. And I believe that they're going to squish the fish. We all want to see them squish the fish, and I believe it's going to happen big time. 38-21 for the Buffalo Bills. Let me know your score predictions in the comment section as well. That's what I've got for mine. The 0-1 Bills move to 1-1, and they defeat the 1-0 Miami Dolphins, force them down to 1-1. I think that's going to be 38-21. Just recently became a Bills fan. I got into watching NFL and I fell in love with the fan base. What should I expect from being a Bills fan in the future? Well, that's a great question, and welcome to Bills Mafia, by the way. Welcome to Bills Mafia. Football is a great sport. It's an awesome sport to watch. Exciting. So, what should you expect being a Bills fan in the future? Well, you have Josh Allen locked up long term right now. So, not only did he get the 6-year extension, but he also has this year. So, the last year of his rookie deal is this year, and then he has next season as well, a 5th-year option, which the Bills have already picked up. So, really, Josh Allen will be in Buffalo for 8 more seasons. You can expect to see Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs for a little while longer. Expect new stadium potentially. There's been a lot of talk about that. There's a lot going on in Bills Mafia right now. It's a different vibe than it's ever been. I've been a Bills fan my entire life. I'm 22 years old, turning 23 soon. So I've been through some really tough years, a 17-year playoff drought. I endured all of that. And now I wear 17 proudly on this jersey right here to represent those 17 years and the man who's going to take us to the promised land. I pray that Josh Allen will take us there. Just expect a very passionate fan base, and don't give up on this team. No matter what happens, you can't give up on the Buffalo Bills, because once you're in love with them, that love will never let you down. Let's talk about some of the other games around the league here, and I'll give you my predictions for who will win these games. So Denver at Jacksonville. Last week we saw Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars got it handed to them by the Houston Texans. I didn't expect that. I'm going to take Denver in this one for sure. I don't think the Jaguars will fare very well there. Houston at Cleveland. I was just saying, Houston with a surprise victory, and Tyrod Taylor looked like that might have been Tyrod Taylor's best game of his career in week 1, but it was against the Jacksonville Jaguars. So take it for what it's worth. Houston at Cleveland. I think the Browns will win this game for sure. Cincinnati Bengals at the Chicago Bears. I'm going to take Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals in this one. You have the 49ers and the Philadelphia Eagles. Jalen Hurts looked good in his first game in his first game of the season, but it was against Atlanta's defense, and yeah, again, take that with a grain of salt as well. I'm going to take San Francisco in this game. Nothing against Jalen Hurts. I'm not saying that he's not going to be a great quarterback in this league or a good quarterback in this league, but I just think that there's been a lot of hype around Jalen Hurts right now, and I think it's a bit too much after one big game in week 1 against the Atlanta Falcons. I'm going to take San Francisco because they are definitely a much more challenging opponent than the Atlanta Falcons for a young quarterback. Next, we have the New Orleans Saints at the Carolina Panthers, and the Saints blew out the Green Bay Packers. I wasn't expecting that. I don't think anyone was expecting that. New Orleans at Carolina. Carolina beat the Jets, and they didn't beat them by very much. New Orleans here. I might take. I think the obvious answer is the Saints, but I'm gonna take the Panthers here because it is a divisional game. It is in Carolina. I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna say the Panthers take this game. That's a very hot take. I don't think a lot of people have the Panthers taking this one, but I'm gonna take Panthers. The Rams at the Colts. You have Matthew Stafford against Carson Wentz, two new quarterbacks on these new teams. An exciting matchup here as well. Going to Indianapolis. I think the Rams have potential to be the best team in the NFL by the end of the season. But I do think the Colts there was a lot of hype around them once they signed Wentz, and then when Wentz got that ankle injury in the offseason, a lot of that hype kind of died down. Colts have a really good defense still. I'm going to take the Rams. I'm hyping up the Colts for no reason. I'm going to take the Rams. Don't be surprised if the Colts do win that game, though. Corn Pop says Miami Dolphins are number 1 in the division. Yeah. What week is it? Week 2. Relax. Yeah, back in the 70s, you're one undefeated season. Congratulations to them. But if you're expecting the Miami Dolphins to go undefeated this season, you're delusional. The Miami Dolphins are number 1 in their division, for sure. Right now, they're holding number 1 in the division. We'll see. We'll see how that goes at the end of this week. Because the Buffalo Bills, they're 0-1. So if they beat the Dolphins this week, they'll actually be in first place. If the Bills win against a division opponent, they're going to leapfrog the Dolphins and be in first place with the same record. Just because of tiebreakers. So don't jump the gun that much. Continuing with the Las Vegas Raiders at Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh, yeah, a lot of people were sleeping on them. A lot of people were sleeping on the Steelers in week 1. I think a lot of people were sleeping on the Raiders in week 1 as well. I picked the Raiders to beat the Ravens in week 1. They did twice. If you watch that game, you'd know what I mean, because the play actually got called back on a flag, and then, yeah, they won the game twice, and the Ravens lost the game twice. So, Vegas at Pittsburgh. Josh Jacobs is out with an injury right now. I got that alert on my fantasy lineup today, so I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers in this one. If you have your top running back out against them, and then you have a quarterback who's not that mobile, like he's not Josh Allen mobile, Derek Carr. They don't have the receivers to beat them, in my opinion. I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers. That defense is legit, and their offense can move the football rather effectively with short passes from Big Ben. And if they can get that ground game going with Najee Harris as well, Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be lethal. So I'm taking them. Probably going to Waddle all over the Bills. Yeah, Waddle's a pretty good receiver. I think that he's got a bright future in the NFL, and it's a nice connection. You have that connection from college with Tua Tagovailoa, so that was a smart draft pick by Miami, and I like that pick for sure. The New England Patriots at the New York Jets. Yeah, New England. Vikings at Arizona. If you watched Arizona's week 1 matchup, you would have saw a bunch of Chandler Jones. Maybe this week we see more of J.J. Watt. I don't know. They've got a pretty solid defensive front. I'm taking Arizona. Not going to overthink it. Atlanta, Tampa Bay. Next, Tampa Bay wins. Dallas at Chargers. Yeah, this one's a bit more interesting. Chargers will win. Justin Herbert is fantastic. Chargers win that game. 30-21 Bills. Bills Mafia. Hey, that was my score prediction too. I had 38-21. I had 38-21 for the Bills. Close though. I like that prediction. Atlanta at Tampa Bay, just did that. Tennessee at Seattle. The Seahawks, the Titans. Seahawks defense I'm not in love with. I'm not in love with the Tennessee defense either. Tennessee's got a new offense. I'm taking... This is a tough one. I'm going to take the Titans to win that game. I believe the Tennessee Titans win that game. He's got Seahawks. Joseph Clark says Seahawks. Yeah, 38-21, even better. Love it. Love it. Kansas City at Baltimore. Can Lamar Jackson beat Patrick Mahomes? I don't think so. The Ravens are a good team, but their backfield's questionable. They have had a lot of injuries. Yes, they have Lamar Jackson in the backfield, so it makes it more lethal either way, but I'm taking Kansas City. It's going to be a hard team to beat, and Baltimore hasn't proven to me that they can beat the Chiefs. So until they prove it, I'm going to take KC. And then Detroit at Green Bay. I was very confident in my Packers pick last week, and I'm going to be very confident in my Packers pick this week. This time I actually expect the Packers to fulfill what I thought they would last week. I think they'll destroy the Lions at Lambeau. Aaron Rodgers, that team's going to come out with vengeance for sure. I was going to subscribe to your channel, but it looks like I'm already subscribed. Hey, big shout out to you, Corn Pop. Thank you for the subscription. Thank you. I appreciate it. And there's going to be a lot more content coming out on this channel. I'm going to have Friday night forecast before every Bills game, post-game show every Sunday. So lots of content coming out. I also have Dolphins over Bills. No, I think the Bills will beat the Dolphins in this game. Allen with 400 yards and Rousseau with his first sack. I'd love to see Greg Rousseau get that first sack, for sure. Allen with 400 yards. He had 415 passing yards last season in week 2 against the Dolphins. I'll take... Yeah, I think he could go for 400 yards. I actually said Allen will have 5 passing touchdowns in this game. My pick is Bills to beat Dolphins by a score of 38-21. That's my score prediction right there. Buffalo 38-21. And I don't think it's going to be easy. It's not going to be a cakewalk. Miami's going to be extra motivated. They're 1-0. They're going to be extra motivated based off of last season. And the Bills can't make the mistake of looking back to the results they had last season. They can't take the Dolphins lightly. This is an NFL team who's currently first in the division, although it is after 1 week. So I do think that the Bills' offense bounces back this week. I hope that offensive line can hold up against the Dolphins' defensive front. I think that's going to be one of the key matchups in this game is the offensive line. Can they hold up without holding? Can the Bills take less penalties than they did last week? And no, not all the penalties were on the offensive line, but there were some really undisciplined plays offensively that cost the Bills when they seemed like they were getting some momentum against Pittsburgh, and then that just completely killed all the momentum. So they have to minimize the penalties, and they have to be better on that offensive line. We need the offensive line to be maulers. Hopefully we can see some Zach Moss this week too. I was a bit I think everyone was really surprised when Zach Moss was scratched from the lineup in week 1. Week 2, I expect him to be there, and I expect him to make more of an impact. If the Bills are 3rd and goal on the 2-yard line, I expect that to go to Zach Moss, and I expect him to run it down the middle. He's their 3rd and short situation running back. He's a short yardage guy. That's what I expect from Zach Moss, and I would love to see him in the lineup this week. Use the run. Hey, Kobe-Wan Kenobi. I like that name. I like that. That's cool. Yeah, use the run. Don't be afraid to run the football. I know it's not the philosophy of the Bills offense. Brian Daboll and Josh Allen, they love to sling the football downfield. But don't be afraid to turn to the run. That's a tendency breaker, and that's going to catch the opposing team's defense off guard. You use the run, utilize it, it's going to really pay dividends for the team. It can help close out games late, like it'll help drain the clock, and it can help you score too. You got to use the run. I think that you need to be effective running the football if you really want to win a Super Bowl. Dolphins are weak at stopping QB sneaks. Well, there you go. And that's another thing. Why? I'm going back to the Steelers game from last week, but I think that the Bills on that 4th and 1 situation, if you watch that week 1 game when it was 4th down and 1, and then Josh Allen tosses it 5 yards back to Matt Breida for a halfback toss. Why? You have Josh Allen. He's 6'4", 235 pounds or something like that. He's a big man. 9.9 times out of 10, you do a QB sneak with Josh Allen, he's getting the football. And Corn Pop says the Dolphins are weak at stopping the QB sneaks. That's great, but guess what? It's Josh Allen. I don't care what defense it is. Run the damn QB sneak, and he's going to get the first down more times than not. Just look back to that Dallas Thanksgiving game in 2019. Josh Allen is an animal. You can even look back to last year in Miami when he trucked Kyle Van Noy. He's not easy to take down. He's effective running the football. So utilize that on a short yardage situation when it's awkward. It's not close enough to kick a field goal, but it's not deep enough to punt the football. So go for it. Go for a 4th down and 1 on a QB sneak. Brian Brown says the Steelers' defense is elite. You'll have better luck with Miami. Yeah, the Steelers' defense is elite. And I think a lot of people forgot that over the offseason, and I don't know why. Steelers are no joke. They've got a great head coach, a legend at quarterback. They've got weapons offensively. And their defensive front is ridiculous. Casey Hayward, and then you have TJ Watt coming off that mega contract extension. He was a disruptor all game long. The Bills' offensive line just couldn't hold up against them. They need to be better against Miami. And if they aren't better against Miami, I'm going to be really concerned about this season. If the Bills' offensive line can't hold up against the Dolphins, I'm really going to be concerned. And you're going to hear about that on the post-game show Sunday night. Aren't you worried about Allen getting injured in a sweep? No, Joseph. I say that with Josh Allen, I don't want him doing all these QB run design things. If Josh Allen's going to run the football, drop back and run. Run the football if your reads aren't available. If your receivers aren't open, then you run the football. But what I'm saying before that was on a short yardage situation where it's too awkward, you can't punt the football, you can't kick a field goal because you're not close enough or you're not deep enough, then just go for it with Josh Allen down the middle because he's going to get the first down. He's going to get the first down on a quarterback sneak. He's a big man. Josh Allen looks to improve on these numbers this week. 5-1 record against the Miami Dolphins. And every time he goes to Miami, he seems to be even better. It's crazy. On the road in Miami, he's even better. Passing over 1,500 yards in those 6 games, 17 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. That's a great ratio. 17 touchdowns to just 4 picks. I'll take that any day of the week. 35 rushing attempts for 340 yards and 3 touchdowns. So he's got 20 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. Ridiculous. I think he's going to add 5 more to the total this week. And Cole Beasley will have one of those on a reception. 7 receptions for 98 yards and 1 touchdown. That's my prediction for Cole Beasley. And then Josh Allen, 5 touchdowns. One more time, I'll go over my score prediction. I've got 38-21 for the Bills. Drop yours in here if you'd like. I'll show them up on the screen. But yeah, I'm going to be having a lot of content come out here on the Bills Bunker throughout the season. The next time the Bills play the Dolphins on October 31st, I'm planning on going to that game. I have tickets to that game. Now, my problem, for those of you who don't know, I'm based in Canada. And right now, because there's some big thing that's been going on in the world for the past 2 years, I can't get to the States. I can't get to the U.S. via a land border. I'd have to drive all the way out to an airport and then fly to Buffalo, and it's a big hassle. So I'd be going to that game, and I'll have a lot of content for you if I can go to that game. We'll see if the border will open by then. And if I can get to that game, I'll be doing some interviews with some fans, hopefully meeting some players, and just showing you around the stadium, showing you the atmospheres of Bills Mafia. Just, it would be awesome, and I hope I can get there this season. From Canada, yes, sir. Dolphins usually leave a lot of room to run on QB sneaks. Allen can slide his way to victory. Yeah, that's true. Toronto area, GTA, yay. So, yeah. Who's number 1 in the Bills division right now? Come on, Corn Pop, you know the answer to this. It is the Miami Dolphins, yeah. They're number 1 in the AFC East right now after week 1. We'll see how long that lasts. We will see how long that lasts. Kudos to Bills Mafia. As a Steelers fan for 40 years, I know passionate fans when I see them. Highmark was rocking on Sunday. I don't know if that meant that you were there or if you were just watching it, but either way, yeah, thank you for recognizing the fan base, Bills Mafia. This fan base has endured a lot of pain. 4 straight Super Bowl losses back in the 90s. You have a 17-year playoff drought that I've lived through. That was right in the beginning of my life. I really, most of my life, I watched a playoff drought. And I continued to cheer for that team because I love them. I love the Bills. Passionate fan base. And yes, the Steelers definitely have a passionate fan base as well. One of the oldest fan bases in all of football. That Steel Curtain fan base. The terrible towels. We have to go 3-1 before we face the Chiefs, and then the Titans are right after that. Yeah. Obi-Wan Kenobi, I like what your thought process is, but the Bills can't be thinking that way. The Bills just need to focus on one game at a time. They can't think ahead. We can because we're not playing. But they need to just focus on this game. Focus on this game, and then after that, you can worry about week 3. But just focus on this week's matchup against the Miami Dolphins. We're going to be 0-1 to Super Bowl champions, and it starts this Sunday. Hashtag Bills Mafia. Dolphins hopefully will make a statement this Sunday, showing the NFL that Miami is the team to beat in the AFC East. I have to see Buffalo show some consistency before I just crown them one good season. Michael. Yeah, if you beat the Bills this week, that's great. But I don't think teams are going to, yes, that'll be a statement victory if the Miami Dolphins win this week. Don't get me wrong. But if the Miami Dolphins win this week, they'll be 2-0 versus what the Bills did last year. I mean, it's not really comparable after 2 weeks. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. But you're talking about consistency. And that really seems like it contradicts itself, doesn't it? Because you're talking about consistency after 2 weeks. Come on. Don't talk about consistency after the Bills just had a run to the AFC Championship game. And now you're talking about consistency after 1 week. Come on. That's why Bills Mafia wants to squish the fish, man. I'm out. Can I suggest mahi fish dinner Sunday? Have a blessed evening. We'll see. We'll see. Have a good evening, Brian. And everybody, I will be here Sunday night post game. Michael, I hope you come back, win or lose. I hope to see you here on the post game show. I welcome fans from every fan base on this channel. I just like to talk football. I'm having fun doing this. Wayne says, I don't see Miami beating the Bills. Bills will not fold. I hope not, Wayne. I think the Bills are going to come out focused. They're going to come out focused. You think about the Miami Dolphins and what their motivation is. Their motivation is they missed the playoffs last year because they lost 56-26 in Week 17 to Buffalo. They want to really get back at the Bills here. But the Bills, their motivation is we're taking this 1 week at a time. We just lost our Week 1 game to the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're pissed off, and now we want to squish the fish and get back on top of this division. So the Bills aren't even thinking about the division right now. They're just thinking they want to take it 1 game at a time. And a win is a win. Add that to the win column. They add up. So I'm not too worried. I think this will be a very exciting game. And I'm excited to watch the Buffalo Bills, Miami Dolphins. It's always an intense rivalry to watch. Buffalo made the AFC Championship and went 13-3. How can you crown a team that missed the playoffs and went 10-6? It should be the other way around. Yeah. Obi-Wan Kenobi, you tell him. All right. So, everybody, I've been on here 38 minutes. Not that long of a Friday night forecast tonight. I'll be here longer next week, but I will be back next week, and every Friday throughout the season I'm doing these. Stay tuned for more content on the channel. I'm going to have the reading stupid comments videos. I know you love those. Reaction video after every single game this season. I'm going to have one of those reaction videos that I did last week posted on this channel, and just some other stuff, injury updates, news, trades, that kind of stuff, and post-game shows. So stay tuned for all of it. I'll be back here Sunday night for a post-game show after the Bills play against the Miami Dolphins in Miami Gardens. So see you then. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel to be notified every time new content's released. Thank you. I'm your guy, Jake.
Bills Mafia, Don Brown. Yeah, it's the Mafia, you know I'm rocking with the Bills. It's the Mafia, you know I'm rocking with the Bills. It's the Mafia, I'm with the Buffalo Bills. It's the Mafia, you know I'm rocking with the Bills. Hey, who you reppin', what's your team? Who you reppin', what's your team? You know I'm reppin' for my team. I got that talent on my team. Micah High, Jordan Boyer, can you catch it? Can you? Trade day is like a mask, you not catching anything. Matt Milano, making plays. We not scared of any team. Best in the AFC. All the praise of Brandon Bean. You hear Sean McDermott clapping while I'm snapping? Do you? Jerry Hughes will get the sack soon as you snap it. Yeah. Andre Roberts running back, ain't no just backing. Mafia, we on a ride and we got traction. We got Beasley, we got Diggs. McKenzie make you miss. Dawson Knox with the stiff arm, treat opponents just like his. Feliciano,